Hello and welcome to the Land Air MCX Vendor Training Session. Effective April 1st, 2013, we will be switching to a new, more robust TMS offering provided by MercuryGate. This TMS is a web-based application that has been customized for MCX. This session is intended to provide each user with a detailed understanding of how to navigate and perform functions using the new TMS. At the end of this training session, the floor will be open for questions, or you may email any questions to mcx@landair.com at any time. Once again, welcome, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to learn about the important features of this powerful new tool. To access TMS, please navigate to the USMCCS website listed on your purchase order. Through this website, you can gain access to MCX shipping instructions, shipping guidelines, ocean container information, web portal access, site listing, and form. You will also notice modification alerts are posted on this website. Both current and past modification alerts can be found here. Two main points of contact information are listed on this site: Land Air, which is the third-party logistics provider for MCX, and MCX headquarter logistics team. Click here on the red link to access the MCX TMS portal for PO validation and routing requests. Once on the site, there are three main functions that can be performed: accessing MCX shipping guidelines, accessing the vendor portal instruction guide, and entering TMS. MCX shipping guidelines. This link contains all access to all guidelines and directions for MCX business partners. Vendor Portal Instruction Guide. This link contains access to the Vendor Portal Instruction Guide. Once opened, this document can be downloaded to your personal computer, printed, or simply read online. This document contains detailed instructions for all items discussed during this training session. Entering the TMS. Click the image of the Land Air tractor trailer to access the TMS logon screen. Please enter your user ID and default password. Your user ID is your current user ID in the TMS. The default password is Land Air, all lowercase. If you do not have a current TMS user ID, please reference page 6 of the Vendor Portal Instruction Guide and complete the MCX Trading Partner TMS setup form. For ease of use, the Remember Me checkbox can be selected. The next time this page is visited, the user information will automatically be completed. Once the user information has been entered, please click Sign In. If you have forgotten your password, please click on Forgot Password and follow the on-screen instructions. If you have any difficulties accessing the site or any questions at all, please see the Vendor Portal Instruction Guide's Point of Contact section. This is listed on page 4. Now let's log into the new TMS and get started. I'm going to demonstrate the Remember Me features by selecting the Remember Me box, logging in, and immediately logging out, and logging back in again. Your user information has now been stored and allows for quicker access to the TMS. After logging in successfully, you will see the TMS Vendor Portal dashboard. All TMS functionality will be accessed to the portlets visible on this screen. The different portlets are commonly referred to as quadrants. Each quadrant can be maximized, minimized, refreshed, or removed from view. Remove from view is not recommended. The quick tabs at the bottom of the screen can also be used to manage the portlets. Each portlet can be moved around or resized to fit your needs. The power button is a neat feature that can be used to save all state changes. It can clear your state and can be used to place items back on your state. For example, let's rearrange our state and save our current settings. If changes are saved, the configurations will return at next login. If you wish to return to the original settings, select the power button, clear state, and simply log out. Once you log in again, you will see the original state will appear. Continuing with the available quadrants, vendor news can be found on page 10 in your vendor portal instruction guide. The vendor news quadrant is used to post important announcements and documents. Priority is given to new comment releases, and as a result, these will populate at the top of the list shown. To access a news item, select the appropriate link, read the important message, and when finished, click the X in the upper right-hand corner to close the item. If your important message contains a document, please click on the document icon to view. Locations. The Locations portlet is discussed on page 12 of your vendor portal instruction guide. All of the authorized shipping points for the vendor are displayed in the Locations quadrant. The locations are displayed as a list with blue links indicating vendor locations that are active for the user. Simply click the link to view and edit the contact details. To modify a shipping location address or to add a new location, please complete the MCX Trading Partner TMS setup form located on page 6 of the vendor portal instruction guide and email or fax to Land Air. To modify the contact information, select the blue link to that location. The following fields can be edited by the user: contact name, phone number, fax number, email. Note, multiple emails must be separated by a comma, comments, earliest appointment time, and latest appointment time. Once all changes have been made, hit save. The next quadrant is the Shipment Routing Request quadrant. This can be found on page 13 of your vendor portal instruction guide. This portlet is how you will route shipments for MCX. Maximize the quadrant using the command buttons located on the upper right of the quadrant screen. The first time logging in, the Available to Route report must be selected for open orders attached to the vendor to display. Once a report processes, click on the pin icon to pin the report as the default for subsequent visits. This quadrant shows all open orders that are authorized to route by the shipper. Any order that is past the PO close date will not populate. You may request routing up to 5 days prior to the PO start date. The columns listed in the Shipment Routing Request quadrant are as follows: PO number, status, which is the routing status of the order. There are 3 status types you will see here. The first is pending, meaning no request submitted by the shipper. The second is in process, meaning the request for routing submitted by the shipper and is being processed by TMS. The third is fulfilled, meaning routing has been completed. The next column is PO start date, followed by PO close date, destination code, which is the MCX site store number, destination name, destination city, destination state, and reference service. This is a type of shipping service requested by the MCX buyer. To locate an order that you would like to request routing for, use the column headers to sort and filter by your unique criteria. For a quick example, let's filter by selecting Category Contains on the PO number field. Key in your PO number. As you can see, the results on the screen are reduced to fit your search criteria. This can help speed up searching for the available PO you wish to route. After you have filtered your open orders, if you wish to clear the search criteria, simply navigate back to the Available to Route report. After you have located the PO number you wish to route, please select that PO number by checking the box on the left-hand side of the PO number. Once the appropriate PO has been selected, navigate to Mass Update and select Route. This will open the Request Route window with the origin location and destination location details. The destination location is automatically populated from the MCX order. In the origin location section, choose your shipping location from the drop-down box to populate the select location field. Next, choose the date the shipment will be available for pickup in the available date field. This should be the actual date product is ready to leave your facility. If the shipment is ready now, select the Today button. The calendar will only populate dates within the PO shipping window. If any changes need to be made to available ship dates, please contact Landair at mcx@landair.com. Once the appropriate date has been selected, in the bottom right-hand corner, click Next to continue or Cancel to end the request. If Cancel is selected, the routing request will not be saved. Now let's try to route a palletized or floor-loaded shipment, referenced on page 20 in your vendor portal instruction guide. Select Yes, the shipment is palletized or floor-loaded. Select the appropriate services from the available options of hazardous, liftgate, and refrigerated. In the Items section, enter an item description, let's say shoes, appropriate freight class, furniture or non-furniture, weight, this does need to include the pallet weight, actual carton quantity, these are the actual cartons located on that pallet, and check the hazardous box if applicable. If the hazardous box is checked, enter the hazardous information as it pertains to your shipment. For now, we'll uncheck the hazardous box. In the Loading Methods section, click the magnifying glass next to Handling Unit for available choices. Note, most options will be palletized. Enter the actual number of total handling units and click on the drop-down arrow to select the appropriate option. Next, enter the total shipment cubic feet and click Next at the bottom right-hand screen to continue. At this point, you may also navigate back if you've noticed you've made a mistake. Again, if you hit Cancel at this portion, this will end your routing request and this request will not be saved. Let's click Next to continue. Once the shipment characteristics and loading method have been completed, the following screen will appear. The information contained on the summary screen needs to be validated, any special instructions need to be entered, and the terms and conditions statement must be read and agreed to before the shipment or SRR can be created. If any changes need to be made, click the back button to adjust accordingly. Otherwise, click Save to create the shipment routing request record. After Save has been selected, a Print Documents window will open with the SRR number. In the Select Document field, use the drop-down to select SRR Summary. A file download window will open and print or save the SRR summary for your records. This SRR summary is referenced in detail on page 27 of your vendor portal instruction guide. Please note, this is not your bill of lading. This is simply the summary document for the shipment you just requested routing for. It contains the origin, destination of your shipment, the weight, freight class, carton quantity, and handling method. This document needs to be kept for your records. Now let's close this shipment routing request summary document. Press Close on the Print Documents icon, and this will return us to the shipment routing request portal. If you wish to route another PO, please note the PO that you just routed will still be selected. Uncheck the current selection and select the additional PO you wish to route. In this example, we will route a non-palletized or small parcel shipment. This is referenced on page 22 of your vendor portal instruction guide. Please select the appropriate origin location. The destination location is automatically populated from the MCX order. Choose the date the shipment will be available for pickup in the available date field. Again, this is the actual ship date the product will be ready to depart your facility. Any changes requested or needed to the available ship date should be made through mcx@landair.com. Once the correct available date has been selected, please click Next in the bottom right-hand corner to continue or cancel to end this request. Note, if cancel is selected, the request will not be saved. For this example, we'll select No, our shipment is not palletized. Again, please select from the appropriate service options listed. In the item section, enter a description. We'll say shoes again. Freight class, either non-furniture or furniture. Weight, let's say 50 pounds for this example. Actual carton quantity. And check the hazardous box if applicable. For this example, we will skip the hazardous box. The loading method selection will expand based on the actual carton quantity entered. You can either pick from, are all the dimensions the same? Yes. Or are all dimensions the same? No. If all dimensions are the same, you will notice only one dimension line. Please enter your dimensions in this one dimension line, and these dimensions will be applied to the number of actual cartons that will be shipping. Note, cubic feet will automatically be calculated once the dimensions are entered. For weight, please enter the weight of each shipping carton. Click either Back if you've made an error and need to correct, Next to proceed, or Cancel to end your request. Let's click Next. A message warning will appear. You have entered a quantity greater than the recommended maximum bundle quantity dictated by MCX shipping guidelines. This is the MCX recommended number of shippable cartons based on MCX bundling guidelines. The shipper is required to bundle to this quantity either by strapping or using a master outer box. If the actual carton number exceeds the recommended maximum quantity, this warning box will appear. If any single carton has a cubic feet greater than 3, this warning box will appear also. Sometimes a carton with greater than 3 cubic feet is unavoidable. Please check the dimensions, and if correct, select OK. If this is a strapped bundle, the carton need to be deconsolidated to avoid oversize fees. It is important to note that this warning box occurs to simply guide the user to ensure correct information has been entered. Wherever possible, MCX shipping guidelines should be followed to ensure lowest possible shipping costs for MCX. There will be times when accurate information has been entered and these shipments fall outside of MCX shipping guidelines. If that is the case with this situation, please click OK to proceed with your routing request. If you realized you have made an error and need to adjust shipping information, please click Cancel and make the necessary adjustments. For this example, we will go ahead and click OK to proceed with our shipment routing request. Once the shipment characteristics and the loading method have been completed, the request route summary screen will appear. All information needs to be validated and any special comments entered. The terms and conditions statement must be read and agreed to proceed with your shipment. At this point, if you've realized anything on this screen is incorrect, please use the back button to navigate backwards and correct the error. If everything is correct, please click Save to save your SRR and enter your shipment into TMS. Cancel can also be selected, but will not save the request. After Save has been selected, a Print Documents window will open with the SRR number. In this Select Document field, use the drop-down to select SRR Summary. A file download window will open, giving options to open, save, or cancel the document. Let's open the document to view again. Any edits to an SRR after SRR summary has been received must be made through mcx@landair.com. Let's close this SRR summary, close the Print Documents window, and the routing request portlet will reappear. After routing has been completed for that PO, again note that PO remains selected. Let's unselect that PO And let's try to route multiple orders together. For multiple orders to be routed together, two criteria must be met. They must have the same reference service, and they must have the same destination name. Let's try to route two purchase orders with different service references. After two have been selected, click Mass Update, Route, and a warning box will appear. Simply hit OK and correct your selection to include two shipments with the same service level, and then you can proceed with routing. If two POs with different destination names are selected and attempted to route, the following warning box will appear. Simply hit OK, correct your PO selections, and proceed with routing as has been previously demonstrated. This section can be found on page 17 of your vendor portal instruction guide. Now that we have explored the three options to route a PO, let's look at the freight routing notification email. This is referenced on page 28 of your vendor user guide. Freight routing notification email will be mailed within 4 business days of the SRR request being presented to TMS and will not surpass the close ship date. This email will include the following information: the SRR number, the ship date. It is very important that this ships no later than 1 business day after the date listed on this document. Failure to ship within that 1-day window will result in non-compliance fees. The master bill of lading number, or the MBOL number, the carrier SCAC, the carrier name and service, the destination. Important compliance information is also listed below the table, and attachments, which will include the bill of lading and or small parcel labels. Let's look at a bill of lading. This is the MCX bill of lading. It contains all relevant and legal information required to be on a bill of lading. The biggest change to shipping documents from the new TMS is the addition of a small parcel label generation. This is an example of a small parcel label that will be emailed to you. This label can currently be printed on a standard desktop printer, and we are currently developing a way to print this on your thermal printer. This label must be printed and affixed to the MCX carton you wish to ship using a clear plastic protective sleeve. Label paper can also be used to print this label and affix to the carton. If you have any trouble printing this label or questions about how to print the label, please contact Landair at mcx@landair.com. Now that we have explored the bill of lading and small parcel labels, let's navigate back to the dashboard section and review the vendor managed shipments quadrant. The vendor managed shipment quadrant is discussed on page 30 of your vendor portal instruction guide. This quadrant helps users to find shipments created based on a time period selection or other searchable criteria. Expand the vendor managed shipment quadrant using the command button to maximize the quadrant screen. Uncheck the date selection boxes to search all possible dates, or use the calendar boxes to enter a date range to minimize search. Let's click Find to view all available shipment routing requests. Check the reference box and enter your applicable reference number to search. For this example, let's search by PO 124578. We'll hit Find, and as you can see, this greatly narrows the search results to help you focus on the SRR in question. You can also search by the SRR number or the MCX site number. For example, let's search by site 02100. Click Find, and the search results display any SRRs destined for site 02100. Now let's look at how to search by status. The status section shows the different search criteria for tracking shipment statuses. Check any of the following criteria boxes to search for shipments and track their statuses. For example, let's search by in transit. Click Find, and the search results will display any shipment routing requests that are currently in transit. Detailed definitions of status can be found on page 31 in the Vendor Portal Instruction Guide. Please note, you can also select multiple search criteria to return tracking results. Once the proper search criteria has been entered, please select the SRR number in blue for the SRR you wish to see in further detail. Once the SRR is selected, the shipment summary screen will appear, giving you details of the SRR. Again, any edits to an existing SRR must be made through mcx@landair.com or call us at 866-404-8517. Now, let's move on to the Reprint Documents quadrant. The Reprint Documents quadrant is found on page 33 in your Vendor Portal Instruction Guide. This quadrant can be used to print the SRR record, the bill of lading, or small parcel shipping labels. Expand the Reprints Document quadrant using the command button to maximize the portal screen. First, let's search for an SRR. We'll use SRR 3280, and we'll select Shipment from the appropriate drop-down menu and click Find. This opens a link to the SRR summary document. Again, please note this SRR summary document is not a bill of lading. Now, let's look for a bill of lading. Please enter the bill of lading number M5873 and select Load from the drop-down and click Find. This will display any load or bill of lading level documents for this shipment. The bill of lading will be generated here, and if this is a small parcel shipment, you may reprint the small parcel shipping labels from this screen. Let's minimize this window, and let's discuss OPO and DD orders for a moment. Use the Shipment Routing Request portlet. A list of OPO and DD orders by vendor and approved destination shipped to will be loaded in TMS for normal routing. If you are a vendor who utilizes an OPO or a DD order, these orders will populate in your Routing Request portlet. If you do not see your OPO or DD orders that you have been required to use, please contact Landair Traffic at mcx@landair.com or 866-404-8517. Now let's log out of the TMS. This concludes the recorded portion of this meeting. At this time, we will begin the Q&A session.